I'm going to auto tune and to see if that makes a big difference. I did notice a power increase with the FP tunes, but you couldn't ride it. It was just like you could not ride it. It was pretty average. It just felt like the bike was running on one cylinder, not two. It would just pop and fart and puff and whinge and cough and that, and the fuel consumption went to shit. So I don't know, maybe I got a dud one, but I'm going to do an auto tune when I actually get chance. But I've got to run the bike in first, because what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to use the entire rev range, low range, mid range and high range, and I want to be able to give it some stick so I can get the top end of the rev range tuned as well for it. Yeah, but other than that, really happy with the bike. I'm up to about, 1100 k's now. I've still got about 500 k's to go before I get the first service done on it. A couple of niggly things with the bike I've noticed since I've had it. And now I don't know about you guys, if you the guys here, I don't know if you can see this shit here. Look at it. It's actually wearing off the belt drive. Now I've got a funny suspicion it's actually the guard itself. So I've actually got onto it and I've actually stretched it back, like I've pulled it back. I bent it back as best as I could, and it seems to have stopped doing it. But it's just weird how it's doing it in certain places and not the entire belt guard or the belt drive. I don't know if you can see that. It's disgusting. It's just worn the entire crinkly black paint off of it. It's just weird, really weird. Also, my mirror retaining nuts. I don't know if you can see that right there in the sunlight. I'll get out of the sunlight. They're actually rusted. Look at that, right there. They have actually rusted. Shame on you, Harley, for using shit nuts. Seriously. And that one there, you can see that one there, it's rusted. It's actually gone brown from rust. And this bike has not even been, I've never ridden it in the rain, which just spins me out. Yeah, that's about it. I've got the Badlander seat, because I've got a sissy bar coming, one of those little sort of aftermarket, non-genuine, like paperclip type ones. It's a 450mm one, so I'm guessing it's going to be about here, just to give the back end a bit more substance. Yeah, but other than that, I'm loving this bike. I haven't had a lot of time to really ride it because of the weather here. What else can I tell you? What else? I'm thinking about removing the reflectors on the fork tubes here. Just get rid of those. I mean, they're a bit naffed, really. I mean, what they actually do. I can appreciate front and rear reflectors, but not side ones. I'm looking at getting axle nut covers for these, front and rear perhaps. And then I'm actually even considering getting the dash. On one of my other vlogs I've actually mentioned it. It's a Harley dash, and it's got like a half moon down the bottom with all the digital readout, and the actual top half is an analog type tacho, so it sort of swings from left to right. I'm actually thinking about getting that. There's like about 55 colour combinations. You can actually go in there and program the colours that you want, and you can have the top half like a blue, you can have the bottom half green, red, orange, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, it seems like a nice looking dash. What else can I say? Yep, I highly recommend the front foot pegs. They are so much better, so much better. What else? So I installed the grips. Now I don't do install videos, guys. That's just, I don't edit most of my none of my vlogs. They're just raw as I'm talking to you now. So I fitted the grips. The only thing I don't like is that the Harley Davidson emblem there does not match up with that one there, which is silly. You would think it would, being the same brand. They'd actually try to get it right, which is a bit weird. Obviously the fuel cap, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to do that. I did the plug leads, I did the saddle bag, the swing arm bag, which basically is not like the Harley one. It doesn't have a mounting bracket. I can say, however, that it is a good quality one, the William Max. It has a plastic liner inside at the bottom and at the back, so the back is rigid. so it's pretty solid, it won't lose shape. Pretty easy to put on. It's got 3 leather straps. They also give you like this transparent tape. You can't see it, but it's actually under there. It runs across the swing arm, so when this rubs against the swing arm, it actually doesn't scrape the paint. If you're anal like me, you don't want your paint scraped. I installed the pipes myself. Obviously installed the FP3, but that's a plug and play thing. That's pretty straightforward. The dealer installed all the forward controls for me just this week, just past, as it was part of the package when I bought the bike. I put the plug leads on, yeah, but the seat. I'm actually thinking, because in Australia we can't have the side mount plates. It's actually illegal here. So we have this back guard thing here. I'm actually going to remove this stupid piece of indicator that's there. Reflector. Get the reflector. Just put a bit of reflective tape maybe along the bottom here or along the front back here, just to clean that. That just looks a bit pathetic. What else? I'm going to muck around with the seats. When I get the sissy bar, I don't know if I'm going to put the other seat back on just to see how it looks, but I've got this seat so I can actually have the sissy bar and put a bag on the sissy bar for a little bit of touring a bit later on in the year when the weather gets better here. And what else? And I'm actually contemplating getting a stage 2. So I was having talks with Harley during the week, because of these types of motors, the Evo motors, they actually have 4 cams. They're not like the twin cams or the Milwaukee 8s and stuff. They have 1 cam per push rod, which quite surprised me. I thought there would have been maybe just 2, but there's actually 4. And then with the cams, they're saying you've obviously got to have a stage 2 tune to match it. You've got to look at getting valve springs, longer springs, so longer throw for the valve. And it sort of states in the Screaming Eagle or Harley Davidson sort of catalogues that you need to get CNC heads. But, you know, I really don't see why I have to get different heads. It's just silly. Absolutely silly. So, but that in Australian dollars is around about $1,700 installed. They claim it's about 6 hours labour, so there's a bit of labour involved. It's about $700 in labour. But I've done some homework on it, and I've watched a few YouTube clips, and they pretty much give you about a 50% horsepower increase at the tyre and about a 40% torque increase at the tyre. So they went from, like, say 56 horsepower at the tyre to 80 something, which was like a big jump, and from, I think it was like 66 foot-pounds of torque to nearly 80 foot-pounds of torque, 79 foot-pounds of torque at the tyre. So that's pretty good gains. I mean, that's nearly 50%. Well, it is 50% on the horsepower and 40% on the torque, which is what you want. But then I'm just sort of umming and ahhing because of the tyre size of the tank being a 12.2 litre tank or whatever it is. I'm lucky to get 200 k's out of it is, and the guys at Harley were saying if I put cams in it, I'm going to lose 40-50 k's off the tank straight up. So basically almost a gallon's worth of fuel probably, you know. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. That's down the track. See how we go and stuff like that. So anyway, guys. And another couple of things too. Before I sign off here, is I want to shout out to Carl, Riding with Carl. Thanks, mate. You keep giving me shout outs, and I'm pretty sure because of you, I've had some subscribers. Shout out to Road Rash HD. You guys, you've been great. Thanks again, Carl, for giving me shout outs, mate. I really do appreciate it. And there's one for you. So any of you guys here in Perth, Australia, anywhere in the world that haven't subscribed to Riding with Carl yet, do that. And Road Rash HD, these two guys are good. They got some good content. Carl does actually install videos. I don't. Funnily enough, I install it, then I talk to you about it. He actually does it. He's got some really good content. He actually goes to different places and stuff as well. Yeah, so shout out to you guys. And you know, I've got just over 50 subscribers now. I wouldn't have thought that, you know, in a matter of 3 months I've gone from 4, and they were family members, to over 50. So shout out to you guys that are subscribed to my channel. If you have any questions or any comments or any tips or hints on how to do things for these bikes, and you know, if I can help you out with some things that I've come across since I've had this bike, just yell out, ask the questions, and I'll get back to you if I can. Thanks guys, take care, and I'll see you all again soon.